Okay, hey, I was trying something different, seeing if I could poll you guys and see what the most frequent questions were that you had on a homework assignment before it was due, thinking I could make a video of a couple of the most requested questions that you had, but it kind of seems like as a whole, most of you guys are catching on to this and you're not struggling too much. There was only one person who filled it out, and that person basically said they wanted to see every single problem on today's assignment. I'm not sure why you're struggling with those 4 problems. I'm not going to do all 4 of them, but I'll pick a couple and kind of get you pushed along the way here. So we're going to start with number 25, okay? And on number 25, this was the problem, okay? What you're wanting to do with your problem here, I'm going to go ahead and see if I can, copy this. You're wanting to look up here at, it's going to let me copy this in here. All right, forget it. You're going to want to try to look at your problem and find a formula that feels like it matches this problem here. Okay, and at this point, like these problems, they're going to get a lot more difficult than what these ones are here. All these ones so far that I'm asking you guys to do, they're pretty obvious matches of which formula you should be picking. Okay, so as I look at this, I'm seeing, okay, if I've got an x squared there, I need to be choosing a formula that has a p squared in that location, because the p is like your x. When you look at the formulas, anytime you guys see a's, b's, c's, d's, those are constants. So in this particular problem, if you're seeing a 25 there, you would want to be seeing some type of variable. I bet it's probably a variable squared. Okay, so we're looking for something maybe like an a squared and then minus a p squared in the bottom. Let's look and see if we notice any formula that in the denominator would have an a squared minus a p squared. Well, it's not formula 9, 10, 11, 12. Does not have square roots in it, so it's not going to be formula 13, 14. Okay, actually, as I move down here, I notice that in formula 16, I see that a squared and minus p squared, okay? That's a good indication that this is probably going to be the formula that you're going to want to use for problem number 25. Okay, I am asking that you write down 3 things when you do this. Okay, the first thing I need you to write down is I need you to identify the formula number that you are choosing. So for this problem, I definitely need you to jot down that you are selecting formula number 16. Okay, the next thing that I need you to write down is right off of the formula sheet. Before you make any substitutions, I need you to write down how formula 16 looks straight off that formula sheet. Okay, you're just copying it down, verbatim here. All right, let me fix this here. Okay, it looks like this. All right. And I know I scrolled so you can't see, but I think you have that formula sheet there with your notes. Okay. All right. So then the third thing that I need you to do before you make your substitutions into the formula is I need you to tell me what are you substituting for what. Okay. So you're looking at the left side of the formula. You're going to substitute things in for the A, for the P, for the DP in hopes that after you make those substitutions, then it will look like the original problem. Well, the p needs to be replaced with an x, which if I take the derivative of p, I'm going to get dp over dx equals 1, and then I'm going to move that dx to the other side. So that means I'm going to swap out the dp over here for a dx. And then the a, remember this is an a squared here, that would be a 5, so that after I square it, it's going to resemble the 25. Okay, so I'm going to make those 3 substitutions into the left side of the formula here. And after I do that, if and only if now my formula matches the original problem, then am I in the clear to go ahead and make these same substitutions with everything that's on the right side. Okay, so I'm going to substitute in now a 5 in for that A. That's going to make that 1/10. Okay, 5's going in for all the A's, and an X is going in for all the P's, so that my answer is technically what I have here on the right side. Okay, that's formula 25. Let's take a quick peek at formula 27, which also should have a pretty obvious formula choice here. I want you to look closely and see how what we have here is we have a quantity in the bottom, where I'm expecting a P here. So there's probably be something like maybe a P and then some type of constant, A, B, C, D there. And then in the other set of parentheses, a P and another constant. And I see here, I also might want to see a P in the numerator. Okay, so if we go back and we look at our options, okay, I'm looking for two quantities in the bottom, in the denominator. Okay, well, there's no square roots, things aren't squared. Now, I look at formula 10 and look at formula 11. Both of those have quantities in the bottom. The difference is 11 has a P in the numerator and 10 has a 1 in the numerator. If you look back at the problem that we're trying to match, you can see this has an X in the numerator. That's an indication that we're probably going to want to go with formula number 11 as a better match than formula number 10. Okay, so you're going to identify the formula number like I wrote down there. Then you're going to write down formula number 11, writing it down generically. And I feel like I'm going to run out of space here. CP plus D. Sorry that I'm like going down the side of the paper. AP plus B, and then plus a big fat C at the end for our constant, okay? The next thing, before you actually do the substitutions, we need to decide what are we actually plugging in for this P and for that A and this B and that DP. What are our substitutions? Well, the P's are going to get swapped out for X's, which means the DP gets exchanged for a DX. And then I'm looking here, I'm saying, well, the number in front of that that X is a 1. So that means the number in front of that P, that A is a 1. Okay, the B, that would be this number here. So the B is also a 1. The C, that would be the number in front of the X here. That's a 1. And then the D is a -2. Oh, I think I wrote this problem down wrong. I'm glad I caught this here. I think that right there is a -1, which means my B is a -1. Okay, my bad on that. Okay, then past that, all you're doing, and I'm not going to finish this unless this is the part that you specifically were getting stumped on, just send me a remind and I can shoot you back that. But all you're doing is making all these substitutions here. I will go ahead and show how when I do these substitutions whoops, this is a minus. Okay, when I do these substitutions on the left side anyhow, I do get that this left side now matches the original integral perfectly. Okay, that's when you know you are good to go with now going down the left side. This is all the stuff that I was kind of writing down along the side and making all of these substitutions now into the right side, and that's going to represent what your answer is. Okay, if you're struggling with this, please reach out and let me know. We can also easily just set up a single Google Meet together so that we could just kind of have a conversation and talk back and forth about it. Hope that you guys are doing well. I'll talk to you soon.